Hey everyone, I have about 5 things that I want to talk to you today about. A lot of it is big news, a lot of it is something that you're going to want to be aware of, a lot of it is stuff that you can have actionable items after watching this video of a thing for you to do to potentially make major benefits for the state of California and prevent some nasty gun control from going into the works. One of those things is related to Trump, a very good thing that he's doing. One of them is a very bad thing that he's doing for gun owners. 3 of them are bills in the state of California that would drastically change the current landscape of the firearms accessory market and go as far as ban Glock pistols, notably, completely. The Gen 3 Glocks in the state of California that are on the not unsafe for sale handgun roster, which I am suing the state for with the CRPA, this bill would actually ban Glocks, the Gen 3 Glocks, because there are devices that can make them full auto. Insane, I know. But before we talk about all of those things, a message from our sponsor. So today I want to talk about the sponsor, Delete Me. Delete Me is a service that goes online, finds your personal information, and gets rid of it. They save me probably 30 hours every couple of months just going through and removing my information. For those of you that don't know, the California Department of Justice and the California government have doxed me due to my gun-owning activities at least 3 times at this point since 2015, which is kind of a lot, and because of that, I get contacted from people that I don't want contacting me. I get contacted by strangers who don't wish me well. And because of that, I have used Delete Me for nearly 4 years now, and they've saved me so much time, so much effort going online, constantly monitoring the internet, and removing my personal information from these easy-to-access websites. And even for you, who might not be doing what I'm doing, you have probably posted on Facebook before, you've probably posted on X or Twitter. Now, people will use your opinions that you post online to potentially target you in the real world. And that's not good, and it's what I think Delete Me truly has to offer, making you harder to find, harder to locate, so that you and your family are safe from threats online and in person. And that's why I've paid for this service for so many years. If you use the link in the description, it'll save you a little bit of money and it'll support me so that I can keep doing what I'm doing. And I am so thankful for Delete Me support. Thank you. So the first thing that I want to talk about was brought to my attention by Matt LaRosiere. He was formerly with Firearms Policy Coalition. Now he's doing his own thing, doing a lot of good stuff for gun rights and lawsuits. He has the channel Fudbusters, and on Twitter he posted about how after the Polymer 80 Supreme Court decision, the U.S. Department of Justice is using that decision to keep a former military member, Tate Adamiak, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce his name correctly, keeping him in jail for demilled parts kits. Now, these were World War II era machine guns that were cut up, and he was in possession of them. And they're claiming that obviously these are machine guns, which is insane because the ATF could not even get them to function as machine guns. In no way was he ever in possession of a gun that fired full auto. Regardless of whether or not we believe we should be able to own them, there is no point in time that he actually broke the law. But Trump's Department of Justice is trying to keep him in jail, basically indefinitely. So I'm going to have a link to that down below. So I'm going to have links to all this stuff down below so that you can kind of get some more information for it. I'm going to be very high level on all of these things that I'm talking about today, especially the bills and especially the stuff involving Trump, because these are fluid moving things and I'm not going to be able to have time, and you probably don't want to watch 17 videos on these topics. So Trump do bad thing. Well, you know, to even it out, let's do some Trump do good thing. So the CRPA posted about how the Trump's Department of Justice has joined in on the CRPA's fight against Los Angeles because of the permitting process. In the county of LA, people are currently paying thousands of dollars for the CCW process to get a permit and waiting. I know people are commenting recently on my channel, 16, 18. Some people are commenting 20 months in certain jurisdictions, which is just absolutely insane. having to wait 20 months to be able to legally exercise your right after paying over $1,000 in permitting fees, let alone the cost of the firearm, the training, the psych evals, all that stuff. Well, the Department of Justice is starting an investigation into these cities, specifically LA, which could potentially have big impacts for a lot of counties. Now, there's counties like mine, which have raised the price of the initial and renewal CCW permit process significantly. Now, I like my county sheriff. He's done a lot of good stuff, but unfortunately, the department has decided to raise fees. Now, my county isn't as bad as places like Contra Costa County or LA County or Santa Clara. I know Contra Costa, someone recently commented on my channel that they are in month 20 or 22, which just goes to show that I do read every parent level comment. If you comment a video on my channel anywhere and it's not a reply to another comment, there's like a 90% chance I'll see it. So there are a lot of people that are having their rights infringed on due to their rights being delayed. Now, what you choose to do, how you choose to live your life, that's going to be all up to you. I'm not going to tell you to break the law. I'm not going to tell you to follow the law. I'm just going to try to educate you as best as I can. This is not legal advice. I am not a lawyer. You guys know that by now, right? So Trump did a bad thing. Trump did a good thing. Now I'm going to talk about 3 bills in the state of California. The first 2 are in the state assembly. The other one was written by a state senator. Now, Assembly Bill 1127. Sorry, a lot of these numbers get mixed in my head, so I have to read it. Assembly Bill 1127 is a bill that is targeting machine gun converting devices and the pistols relating to them. Now, we all know that Glock switches, you know what that is probably. It's a little thing that goes on the slide of your Glock that turns it full auto. Those are illegal. You cannot possess those. You cannot build them. Basically, the only people that have those legally are people that have proper licenses and permits to do so. And then there's a bunch of people in Chicago, Detroit, that kind of area that just seem to have them. It's like they spawn into the environment and it's just a free loot drop. People are just grabbing them off the streets. But the pistol itself is not full auto, and the pistol itself is not considered a machine gun until that device is added into it. Now, with these bills, a lot can change. So until this gets towards like the final stages of it, I'm not going to cover the actual bill text because in the past that's caused a lot of confusion. So currently what I'm just going to do is briefly talk about it. Basically, the big takeaway from this would be that it not only makes the conversion machine gun devices extra super double illegal, it also makes the sale of the pistols capable of accepting them machine guns. So a Glock Gen 3, the only true Glock pistols we can buy in the state of California, would be banned from sale in the state of California because someone could do something illegal with it. I'm pausing to allow you to have a second to just try to wrap your head around that because it took me a while. Anyways, this was written by Assemblymember Gibson and Wicks with Assemblymember Mark Gonzalez as a co-author. So go ahead and reach out to your state representatives and your state assembly members and say that this is ridiculous and that they should not move forward with this bill. Now, Assembly Bill 1263, I'm going to have a link to a Reddit thread because it breaks this down in much more detail than I would be able to do on video without making this video 45 minutes long, and it's already going to be long enough, so if you want to look more into it, but the moral of this bill is this. AB 1263 would make the sale and transfer of any firearms part that is potentially able to make a firearm that is legal an assault weapon or into an assault weapon configuration, it would make those highly regulated and would add burdens and hoops to jump through involving signatures, ID requirements, and all that kind of thing to simply go online and order up an upper receiver or a flash hider or a pistol grip. Shoot, I'm surrounded by just constant piles of assault weapon features. Things like handguards, pistol grips, stocks, flash hiders, vertical foregrips, angled foregrips, second hand grips, flare launchers, which I do actually have a flare launcher. Any one of those things, if you wanted to purchase it online, would make the process of doing so complex that no online seller would actually be able to implement any amount of realistic, sustainable business model that would allow them to sell it. So basically, you would not be able to go online and buy any part that is listed as a feature. Folding stocks, telescoping stocks, pistol grips, hand guards, flash hiders, barrels potentially. The real big thing that people aren't really noticing from this is it also mentions things that increase the speed and ability of someone to reload the firearm. So on a typical fixed magazine AR in the state of California, a fixed magazine can mean a lot of things, and the definitions and methods of doing that can be very different. This firearm here is equipped with a AR maglock system. I'm just not going to load around into this. So to do a reload on this, I press the kingpin in the rear, then I press the magazine release, I put the magazine in. Now that makes the reload process quicker, and that would be an illegal feature to have as well. So magwells and any of our fixed magazine devices might actually be considered illegal or regulated and unable to just be sold online, which would massively impact the economy here for firearms. Then the last bill that I'm going to talk about is SB 704, which would require background checks for barrels. And no, there is not a COE and FFL03 exemption, unfortunately. So you got an upper receiver, you want to buy it, you see it online, guess it's going to your FFL, that's going to suck. You have a barrel, you want to give it to your buddy. Well, looks like you're going to have to go to an FFL to do the private party transfer on that, or just break the law. I have no idea how they're realistically going to enforce this law for any barrel that was on the market prior to it going into effect, but it's going to be a full-blown background check. They're going to take your ID. They're going to go through the DRO system most likely. They're going to fill out a form, and they're going to say, hey, you're taking possession of this barrel. Barrels generally don't have serial numbers. Your Glocks do, a lot of guns, a lot of pistols do, but this is a BRN 180 Gen 3. It existed prior to this bill. How could they possibly know? So, my ask to you is two things. Whether or not you live in the state of California, donate to the California Rifle and Pistol Association. Now, if you live in the state of California, figure out who your state assembly member and your state Senate representative is. Reach out to them and tell them to go against AB 1127, AB 1263, and SB 704. Especially if you are among the audience members that watch my videos that are left-leaning, liberal, Democrat, whatever you want to identify as specifically, please reach out to your representatives, tell them that this is not what you voted for, tell them how this would negatively impact you, tell them how this will not positively impact crime rates, because we know it won't, and tell them that if they do in fact vote for this, that you will vote for someone else. I'm not even saying right now that you have to commit to voting Republican, just that you would vote for someone else, because all these people want to be reelected. They're trying to milk as much money and power out of the system as possible on the right and the left. So if you take that power from them, or you threaten to take that power from them, maybe they vote differently on these things. Because if these go through, goodbye to Glock in the state of California, goodbye. They're just never coming back. They're going to be illegal to sell. Goodbye to buying any parts online. Now, a lot of you aren't as fortunate as I am to have good local FFLs near you. So say hello to higher prices on everything. No more cheap deals online. It's going to be more cumbersome to acquire parts. And did I mention that you won't be able to buy a Glock? That's insane, right? Let me know what you guys think down below. You guys know the drill. Have fun, be safe, stay dangerous. Peace.